So how did I get into research? When it comes to applying to jobs for research, I would just recommend, one, having a really good CV. Include all of your coursework on there that you've done in basic science, or anything that you've done in like clinical science, or like any leadership positions that you've had. It really doesn't matter how big or small they were, so that you have leadership skills. And then I would just say have a great personality, because your personality at the end determines if you would be hired for the lab most of the time. We literally recommended somebody to not be hired because we didn't think that their goals and their personality would fit with everybody else in the lab. We are a vision research lab, and sometimes we do neuro and sometimes we don't. But this particular applicant like really wanted to do neuro. So why would we hire her and then she ends up doing things that she doesn't want to do? We recommended for that PI not to hire her because like her goals weren't necessarily aligned. I recommended somebody to be hired for a brand new lab. This guy just got to our institution. He's like, hey, do you know anybody that might want to like be a research assistant? I'm like, and ask around and see. Literally somebody interviewed with him and then said that they wanted to apply to med school this cycle. He's a brand new lab. Like, you were just going to be onboarded and left. So make sure like your timeline applies or is well with the PI that you are applying for. I don't plan to apply to med school until not this cycle but the next one. And they were like, you know what, that's great, that's perfect timeline. I feel like that had a lot to do with me getting hired as well. My boss says is that she really liked that I had clinical experiences, but I also had like wet bench experiences. Then I interviewed and she had my personality to go off of. Then I came to the lab to tour the lab, and everybody else also loved my personality. So that, on top of my timeline being right, got me hired. Literally just make sure you have a really good CV. Look over some CVs and see if y'all want to send me a CV or two. I can look it over and see how well it looks, let you know, and give you feedback. And then another thing is making sure your personality aligns with everybody in lab. Like, be personable, but also be mutable. Then the last thing that I would say is to know your timeline and be upfront.